Hey up everyone, hope that you're all doing alright. Welcome back to my channel and welcome if it's your first time here. My name is Hutch. I have not uploaded speed build for a while, so I thought I'd just do a quick introduction if you are new here, and why not reintroduce myself to everybody that's missed me for all this time. Today we're building with, I want to say the new expansion pack, but when did it come out? I don't even know. It's been out for a while. I'm sure you'll have heard of it. It's the Sims 4 Horse Ranch, and I've not played with it. I've not done anything with it, like when it came out and everything. Like I weren't all, what's the word for it? Like I weren't up to date what was going on. Saw a couple of things on Twitter and Instagram, and I had some speed builds and stuff in my recommended, some gameplay videos, but I have not interacted with it whatsoever. I've not even seen any like reviews. I don't really know anybody's thoughts about it. Unlike the usual packs that have come out since I've started my channel, I've been quite like up to date on stuff and seen the opinions and everything, and I usually like to buy them like straight away, get my thoughts out there, build with it, all of that stuff. But I didn't with this one because I was on a break, but I have played around with it a little bit and might as well give you my opinion if you want to hear that, and let you know what I thought to the build by items, especially because I am predominantly a builder, so that's my like first and foremost, that's what I'm interested in more than anything. I will say that we are building a starter home today. I always like to do a starter home when a new pack comes out, just to see like what I can get away with the items, and I think it's always useful to have access to starter homes for like other people, and they're quite like a popular choice, aren't they? Like you want to play but you don't want to build. That's what I'm here for, to make you a starter home if you so wish to have one. I mean, there'll be plenty of them out there now, I'm sure of it. But yeah, I wanted to just do like a little ranch, and I saw this picture on Pinterest like ages ago, I think. I'll pop it on screen for you now. I really liked it, but I just thought I weren't totally sold on it. You know, like there was just something about it. And when it was coming up to like planning this build and everything, I thought, I'm sure I've got something on Pinterest that I saved like months, maybe years ago. And I had a look and there it was. And what really sold me on it were the like wooden beam thingy things that I've done. I don't know what it's called, but I guess they're like wooden roof supports. They're not necessarily functional obviously in The Sims 4, but I liked the look of them, so I decided to use the tool mod to like rotate them and change the rotation of them obviously. And yeah, you can always delete them if you don't like them. When you do play in the house, they'll just be like floating there, which I personally find that a little bit annoying when I was play testing, but they're there to look cute, and yeah, that's the purpose they serve. I thought they looked nice, so that's why I put them there. And I also wanted to do a little stable thing. I don't think that the horses really need stables, to be fair, so I built this with the assumption that they needed a place to sleep, but I'm pretty sure they can just like drop on ground and sleep wherever, which I guess is like what horses do in real life. I'm not a horse girl, I don't know a lot about horses. All I know is that they're big and I don't want to be near them. They are cute to look at, but from a distance. I was never like into horses and stuff, even though I was very into animals as a child. Being near them though is a whole other thing. I like to look at them. Although I do like going to like wildlife park. There's a place in Yorkshire called Yorkshire Wildlife Park, and I've been there a couple of times and it's right good. I was going to go there this weekend actually, but I think it's going to rain, so I'm not going. But yeah, it's right good. They've got polar bears, and yeah, I'm just not a big fan of horses in particular, but I like to play with them in The Sims. I did get Sims 3 pets when I played Sims 3 back in the day, and I liked interacting with the horses and stuff. And were there like unicorns in that one? Was there like a wild unicorn you could get? I can't remember, but there were definitely wild horses and you could like tame them and interact with them and stuff. I've not done a lot of gameplay with this pack. I just interacted with a foal. I got my sim self to buy a foal and like play around with it and stuff, and just see, you know, what you can do with it. I didn't get very far. It was mainly to like play test and get an idea of what I needed for the build. So it's got food, it's got water. I put down this like prairie grass, which I think you can train your horse to eat. And yeah, obviously it's a starter home, so I used a lot of debug plants. And I will say as well, the terrain paint for this one, I'm out of my game. Like my skills have gone downhill. I don't know what I was trying to achieve with the terrain paint. I was trying to copy what it looks like in the world, but I just couldn't like really do it. I think it looks a bit of a mess, but when it's all like tied together, I don't think it's like that bad. I just felt like I could have done more with it, and looking at it now while I'm watching the videos I do the voiceover, it looks crap. It looks a bit rushed, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, the budget for this house is, I think it's like 20,900 simoleons. But if you moved in more than one sim, they'd be able to afford it easily. I built it as a starter home intended for a family of 3 or 2 with like a child sim, so either a single adult or 2 parents and a child sim. So you should definitely have enough budget, but you might be like a bit short when you move in, so I'd recommend getting your sims a job immediately, or maybe selling some of the items if you're struggling to live. But yeah, I used a debug fence as well, which I think it actually serves a purpose. So some of the debug fences in the games, they're like not real objects, so sims will walk through them, but I think this one actually works like functionally, like it actually works to stop things like coming in and out. But obviously it's just half a fence. I've not fenced the whole entire lot. I might fence it for the sake of the gallery version, you know, just so that you've got a complete fence. But you know what, yeah, I'll do that. But yeah, for the sake of the video, it's not got a fence, but on the gallery it will have a fence, which might push it over the budget a little bit because I'll have to put a gate so that the horse can't get out. But I think they can use gates because the horse was going in and out of the stable. You can always lock it. See, I've not played the game for that long. I forgot the mechanics and everything. But yeah, I had a lot of fun building this one. It was a nice chilled building experience. I was like sat back, I had a podcast on, I was just, you know, well away building. I had a lot of fun with it, and I've really liked looking at some of the builds that people have brought out. It really made me want to get the pack and everything, but I was just like, I don't think I'm in the mindset to build, because if I kind of thought like when I was on my break, if I build, it's going to make me miss making videos, and then I'll feel bad and I'll feel guilty, so I just kind of avoided it. I did play around a little bit just before I came back, like from my break and everything. I played around in build mode, like faffing about trying to make a base game house, but that did end up making me feel exactly how I thought it would. I felt a little bit like, oh, I've been away and I've like missed out on so much and blah blah blah. Like I felt a bit sorry for myself, and I got over myself like eventually. But yeah, I have missed like building like quite a lot because I find it like quite therapeutic, and I don't know, I just enjoy it, and I've enjoyed it pretty much since I started building. If you didn't know, back when I like played Sims as a kid, like I started playing The Sims 2, I think was my first game. I always say I think because I can't remember. I have 2 memories. When I first started playing Sims 1, I don't know if I had Sims 2, because when I played Sims 1 it were at like a friend's house. Well, it weren't a friend, it was like a family friend. It's a long-winded story, but I played Sims 1 on like someone else's computer, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I like this. And I don't know if I thought that because I didn't like it or because I had Sims 2. I don't remember. But I'm trying to go off like how old I was. And I'm pretty sure I was like 9, at the very least 8. Was Sims 2 out by then? No, that was like 2002, 2003. So I don't know. But either way, the actual game that I owned myself first and foremost was Sims 2. I was always a gameplay person. That was my thing, gameplay. I didn't enjoy building. I used to find it frustrating. But then when I started like building around like 2020, I really got into it and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, I love it. And yeah, that's just my main thing that I do. I do dabble in gameplay from time to time. If you are an old, I was gonna say if you're an old person, if you're an old viewer of my channel, you'll know this. It's not a surprise, obviously that's what my channel revolves around, building. But I do like to play a bit of gameplay from time to time, and yeah, I want to get into the gameplay of this expansion pack, but I just feel like I don't know where to start. So I think I'm gonna just play with like base game and this, you know, just to see what actual features it's got. Because that's the thing, I've got all the packs, so sometimes, because I don't do a lot of gameplay, sometimes I'll come across something and I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I don't really know what pack it's from or like where it came from, so I can't always give like a good, fair like critique of a pack because I'm not really sure, you know, where it came from, like I said. So yeah, I might play around with it and let you know what I think. And yeah, but like I said, I really enjoyed building this one. And let me know, do you have the pack? Do you like horses? Do you like the style of the pack? I think it's a bit predictable, but in a good way. Like, I think horses, horse ranch, I mean, if it weren't horse ranch and it were just about horses, I feel like this sort of stuff is like obviously typical for a horse pack game. Oh my god, I feel like I can't even speak. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like horses, it suits this sort of stuff, like ranchy style stuff. Well, in terms of an American horsey revolving game, you know what I mean? Because like in UK, we don't have all this sort of like rustic, ranchy looking stuff. Like there's a bench, for example, it looks a bit like a saloon bench. That's the word I was looking for. It's very like saloon type-esque stuff. Don't know if that's a good descriptor, but yeah. But yeah, we've already moved on to interior, and I feel like the layout for this one is a little bit odd. I don't really know what I was thinking too much. I feel like I could have gone with a better layout, but it is what it is. I think it works good for gameplay because you've got everything all connected, and because it is a small house. By the way, I did make it a little bit smaller because I wanted to save a bit on the budget, and also the gap between like the living area, kitchen and dining room, the width of it, I just felt it was like a bit too big. So I ended up making it a little bit smaller. Also, loved that we got a rocking chair. I was decorating the living room, and as soon as I saw that rocking chair, I was like, right, I'm banging that on front porch because that's what we need. I've wanted a normal looking rocking chair forever. We got one with, what is it, knitting stuff? What's that knitting stuff pack called? Is it just nifty knitting? No, it's not called that, is it? Nifty knitting? I think it is. We got a rocking chair with that, but the swatches for it are like colourful ones. I think we got one wood swatch, maybe we got a dark wood swatch, but the swatches are just not very good. I just wanted a plain wooden, normal wood swatch, not an orange or a green or a purple, just a normal wood swatch. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, right, get it out there. And I really like the bedding and all that we got with the bed. Don't know where I'm going with that, but the bed swatches, like it's got this like a bed throw on it, you know, right at the foot of the bed, and I was like, oh, I love that, it looks right cute. So I decided to go with like yellow for the bedroom, and I kept the wood tones kind of the same throughout because I kind of imagined that with it being a starter home, the budget for the house is obviously a lot lower, so maybe if the house came with the furniture and it's all been like handcrafted or something. It's got a very like handcrafted sort of feel to the furniture, like the wood and stuff, and I really like the wood swatches that we got that have got that like textured look to them, you know, they look a bit worn and a bit like not perfect. I really like that, and I hope that they bring out more stuff like that because I love the look of it. Yeah, what else was I gonna say? Budget wise, I tried to keep it obviously low, cost low, but I still wanted to have nice decorative stuff, so I tried to use debug items where I could. So I put like a debug book set, I think it's one of the horse training manuals or something like that, and I ended up at the end going around and deleting the curtains just because I wanted to save as much money as I could. But yeah, I like it, and it is functional. The Sims will cook, they'll use the oven, they'll use the sideboards. They will not wash the dishes in the kitchen sink, but I don't think that's my fault. I think that's just part of the game now. It's very annoying because the sink is like right next to him. I know it's like a very old grievance that Sims players have, but it's literally right next to him, and they walk all the way to the bathroom and wash the dishes in the sink. Also, the layout for the bathroom as well, I had to change where I put the sink because I forgot where the routing thing is, you know, for Sims to run the bath and get in the bath. So the sink is blocking it, but I change it in time for the end of the build. And then when it got to the kids' bedroom, as soon as I saw this green wooden bed with the horse print like duvet thing and the little horses, I was just like, oh my god, this kid is having this. Also gave him a pet frog because why not? I was thinking about getting a pet turtle. I've been wanting, well, tortoise. I've been wanting to get a pet ever since I moved, well, ever since I was a child actually, but especially since I moved out, I've always thought one day I'll get a pet, and the goal has always been a dog. I'm very much a dog lover. Dogs are the best animal. The only bad thing about dogs is that they don't live long enough. I mean, that's true for all pets, but dogs especially. That's the only bad thing about dogs in my opinion. I can deal with dog hair, I can deal with dog breath, I can deal with them headbutting. You know, my neighbour's dog today, bit of a TMI story, came running nose first straight to, you know, you think how tall is a dog, where are they going to headbutt you when they run into you? Yeah, it weren't fun, it hurt quite a lot actually, and I was just like, ow, you just hurt me. And she was like wagging her tail and like fussing me, and I was just like, oh, I love this dog. And she's an elderly dog as well, so when she fusses you, she gets right tired and you're just like, oh. Also, we got some new swatches with base game stuff, that watermelon backpack. I was like, oh my god, I love that, this kid's having that. Really enjoyed decorating kids' bedrooms. Sometimes kids' bedrooms I get a bit like, I don't know, a bit fed up because I feel like I do the same all the time, but I really enjoyed doing this one. And what were I even on about before I started talking about dogs? Oh, pet tortoise. I was thinking about it, and I thought if I go down a rabbit hole and I start researching it, then I'm going to get one. So I had to proper think about it. They live about 40 to 80 years, so I might have to think about it a bit longer than, because I don't know if I can commit to that, you know what I mean? Like 40 years, I'm going to be, how old am I? I'm going to be like 70 with a pet tortoise, if I get that far, if I'm lucky. And I might need to even pass it on to my kids, like, that's a massive commitment. But yeah, anyway, we're getting to end up voiceover now. I feel like I didn't talk about the build enough, but, you know, it is what it is. It kind of speaks for itself. What else is there to say? It's functional, it works, and it's cheap, and it looks quite cute, if I do say so myself. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this one. I hope that you enjoyed the build. If you do want to download it, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is HutchPlays. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, like I said. I hope that you have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you later. Bye.